Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to not Nanowrimo day anything. It is December, November is over. That was a really long month. Does anybody else feel like that month flew by really quickly but also lasted at least 10 years? Because that's where I'm feeling. But now that November is over, it is time to look back and reflect and chat about what's happened, what I'm thinking about it, how I'm feeling, what happens from here, etc. If you watched my daily vlogs, you'll already know some of this, but I'm going to keep it kind of a brief recap and then move on to new things. Side note before we get anywheres, no matter how many words you wrote during November, and no matter how much or how little you thought of your story and worked on your story, I genuinely believe that there is no way to fail Nanowrimo. I like using the word win Nanowrimo when I hit 50,000 because it's just really exciting for me, and I don't know, I like that mindset. But just because there's a way to win does not mean there's a way to lose. All progress is progress, and everything is moving you closer to getting your story finished out there, whatever your goals might be, and any words you wrote or any thinking you did about your story sometime in November is more than you had October 31st. So I just want to say a big congratulations to absolutely everybody who participated, regardless of what you got done this month. And also a shout out to everybody who didn't participate because they either didn't feel like it or didn't want to or realized that Nano doesn't work for them. Like, I just think that everybody, no matter what you did in November, I'm proud of all of us. With that being said, what did I do in November? Well, I wrote 50,104 words. I finished Nanowrimo and hit the 50,000 word mark on November 25th, so 5 days early, which was really, really exciting. I actually wrote just over 4,000 words that day to push myself to the finish line, and I am so glad that I did. Then I tried really hard to work on self-care. There was some ups and downs, but that's okay. Aside from the goal to hit 50,000 words, my other goals for November were to stay above the goal line every day because the floor is lava, if you saw that vlog. I also wanted to post a video every single day in November, and I managed to do that. Side note, daily videos, very tiring. How do people, do videos every day all year round? That's crazy. I don't understand. And my other goal was to write every day. Now, I did this, but after I finished the 50,000 words, I did take a small break from my story, so my writing for the day was more journaling and just other types of writing. It wasn't writing for my story, but I still count that as a win for me because I just wanted the habit of sitting down and writing. So honestly, in that respect, Nanowrimo went freaking amazing. I smashed all my goals, and that's just really exciting. In reality, it was exhausting. I am very tired. I'm going to show you guys my now completed bullet journal spreads for Nanowrimo and let you know how those went. So the first one I did was my Preptober checklist. I got most of it done. I didn't end up doing as much world building as I was planning to, and I didn't end up making a map, but I know that I'm going to have to go backwards a little bit and re-outline, so I'm not too worried about that. My write-in calendar was a really good idea, and it definitely helped me a little bit, or people that scheduled their lives a bit in advance. It helped me remember them. But honestly, everybody was talking about it so much on AuthorTube, and so many of them were not uploaded ahead of time, set up ahead of time. So I was able to just click on them, and that definitely helped me a lot. So I didn't end up needing the write-in calendar as much as I thought I would, but I'm still glad that I had it. My sprint log I did not end up using. I used it twice. I just kind of got all wrapped up in actual writing and didn't get to tracking. And it didn't really work for me, but now I know. I did end up using the extra space to write out some pretty quotes. Underneath it I had better an oops than a what if. And then on the other page, magic happens when you don't give up. The universe always falls in love with a stubborn heart. Because I just think that's pretty and very, very Nanowrimo. The next two pages I definitely used, and used them well in my opinion. My word count progress, what I decided to do is every 1,000 words I would color it in, and I kind of grouped them by days. So for one day I would use the same blue, and I used different shades of blue just because I thought it would be pretty and I liked the way it turned out. And then on my words per day spread, you'll see that I have my little key here. So as you can see, most days were green and blue. Green was 1,501 words to 2,000 words, and blue was 2,001 to 3,000 words. So I wrote between 1,500 to 3,000 words on average a day. I think it worked out to be a little bit over 2,000 when you do the full math, like 2,100 words a day or something like that. But either way, I'm really happy with that. And I'm going to show you one more spread that this is one of my regular monthly spreads. It's a time log, and basically I have a color code for sleeping, being productive, working, etc. So I'm just going to show you that because that sums up my month. So to give you a very quick rundown, the brown is sleeping, the blue is working, the pink is productive, and that's pretty much the only colors on there. So yeah, when looking at this, I realized that I didn't do very good with balance this month. And as far as the story itself got, I'm not as far into the story itself as I was hoping, because I realized that I was starting the story way too early and I needed to shift the timeline around and stuff. So I'm basically like a third of the way through Act 2, but I'm probably going to end up cutting the first like 10 to 15,000 words. So it's really not that bad, it just had to shift quite a bit. I am still really liking the story, and this part is just really like angsty and angry and revengey, so I'm still enjoying the story. I'm just a little bit worn out and I need a small writing break. By the end of the week I'm going to start writing again. Well, I probably won't start writing again. I'll probably get back into my story, but I need to re-outline now that I've shifted so many things, and some things just don't work where they were before, and I've kind of come across some things that just need to be fleshed out a little bit more. So by the end of the week, at some point, I will go back to my outline and flesh out some things, fix up some things, maybe do a little bit more research in some areas, and then get back to writing whenever I'm up to there. Probably next week, if I had to guess. So I'm definitely not done with the story, even though November is over. I'm just slowing it down a little bit because I'm running on empty and I can't be rushing everything. Honestly, one thing that's been really on my mind lately and has been really almost pushing me to want to finish the story even faster is I miss Monsters and Imaginary Friends. If you're newer to the channel, because I know in November a lot of people kind of just started joining my channel, which is super awesome, but if you don't know, Monsters and Imaginary Friends was my work in progress that I was working on right before that. It's essentially the story of a little boy who got attacked by a monster in the middle of the night, and now his imaginary friend and the monster under his bed are teaming up to go and find out who attacked him and get revenge. There's a lot of revenge I'm writing lately. Revenge/justice. The monster wants revenge, the imaginary friends want justice. So honestly, I am really missing that story, and I just really want to start draft 4. I'm really excited about it, and I miss that story and I miss that world, and I'm so excited to get back to it. But I have to finish this story first, because if I step away now, it's going to be really hard to get back into it when the time does come, and I don't want to abandon the story. So the thing that will be best for me and both stories will be to finish this story before I get back to Monsters and Imaginary Friends, but I'm just really excited to get there, honestly, really excited. So that's essentially what's going to be next writing-wise. I'm not going to be doing nearly as many updates as I did in November, because daily vlogs are hard, and there's only so many different things I can say about a story, I've realized. So I'm basically just going to be updating whenever I get to a certain point, or anything really exciting happens, or there's a big update to share with you guys. My videos are going to go back to being posted every Wednesday and Sunday. They're still going to be mostly reading or writing related. I'm going to try to do a little bit more reading than writing content, because my reading definitely fell to the wayside this month. So I'm going to be doing that, and then just whatever floats my boat. My writing videos won't be specifically about this story, it'll just be in general writing things. I have some things planned, but we'll see what I film and when. But overall, that is my update. I am feeling very tired but happy with how Nanowrimo went. You know, I think that it was a good month, it was a long month and tiring month, but I accomplished all of my goals and I survived. So what more can you ask for? So that is all I have for today's video. If you enjoyed it, please click the like button to let me know, and subscribe to stay up to date with those videos that I just talked about. Reading, writing, cats, comments on my lap, as always. So I hope to see you guys next time, and until then, have a great day. Bye!